You know, I was thinking to myself, could PC outdo themselves when it comes to the obsession of one black individual that they don't seem to care for? And by that, I'm talking about George Floyd. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, they bring up George Floyd every chance they get. And I mean, every chance they get. And it is always in bad faith every time they bring it up. But then I realized there's someone else out there that they constantly bring up on a damn near every other week basis. And that person is Michael Byrd. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Michael Byrd is, he was the federal cop that was working at the Capitol building the day of the insurrection on January 6, 2021. He was the one that fired the fatal shot that took out Ashli Babbit. And ever since they discovered his identity, they have been on a crusade for like the last 4 years, over 4 years now, to try to get this man arrested, prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and a whole bunch of other things. Again, these are the same people who love to go around talking about back the blue. And this video that I'm doing right now is going to just expose the hypocrisy that they don't really back the blue like they claim they do. Well, I take that back. They'll back the blue with some stipulations. Sort of like what Derek Chauvin did, that's when they backed the blue. But when Michael Byrd was doing his job, that's not backing the blue for them. They just see nothing but a criminal. And it's like they keep going on this crusade, but it's nothing that they can do about it at the end of the day. It's nothing's going to happen. He ended up getting a pardon before Biden left office. If y'all didn't know, he got a pardon before he was one of the people that got pardoned. So there's nothing that can be done about it except them just making a bunch of noise. And the thing is, I can't take them seriously because it's not like they went before Congress or anything like that to try to really push for anything. I didn't see them get out there and protest. Their cries never left social media. And by social media, I'm talking about Twitter, because that's their haven as of now anyways. So there was this post that this individual posted up, and they posted up this image of, it was Ashli Babbit on the left wearing her military uniform and Michael Byrd on the right. And it says, should Michael Byrd have been charged with killing Ashli Babbit? And again, they do this like every other week. So by the time this video gets seen, they probably would have done it maybe an additional 1 or 2 more times, maybe even 3 by the time this video goes up. And to which I replied, well, not replied, I reposted it, and I said, only white people, and I made sure to put white in all caps, people believe he should be arrested. They ask this damn question every other week thinking it's going to change the outcome. They truly do. Like, if you was to just go onto Twitter and type in Michael Byrd's name or Ashli Babbitt's, well, type both their names in, because then it'll narrow the search even better. If you type in Michael Byrd's name and Ashli Babbit, this man is being called everything but a child of God. You'll see the words arrest. He needs to be charged. I saw someone, he said that he needs to be charged with murder 1. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, oh my God, y'all keep telling yourselves that each and every day. These are the same people who were clamoring all over again Twitter about Aunt Jemima making a comeback, even though it was false. I can't take none of these fools seriously. At this point, all you can do is just sit back and call them out in the sense of clowning them. So you can see that these individuals are not the quote unquote high IQ that they portray themselves out to be. But what I decided to do was I got some screenshots, and we're going to go over some of the posts that people replied with. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's almost to the point where it's like they're all sharing one shriveled up brain. So these first 2 posts reads is, one says, who shoots and kills an unarmed person? They didn't spell person right, but they said person. Well, I don't know if this person has been living under a boulder for the last 10 or so more years, but there have been plenty of cops that have been killing unarmed black people. And that's probably why you wasn't caring about it, because they were black, where this has occurred. But then again, they wouldn't believe that that's what it is, because they'll just say this: if they would have just complied. Well, guess what? If Ashli would have just complied, as a matter of fact, if Ashli would have listened to her husband and not gone out there in the first place, Ashli Babbit would still be amongst the living. Let's talk about that. This next person says she was unarmed and a veteran. She was there and she was climbing through a window. It doesn't matter if she was unarmed. She was warned to not come through, and she was climbing through a window, and that's why she suffered the consequences. What do y'all always say? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Well, that definitely applies to Ashli Babbit. Next up, we have this rather elaborate post that says, I watched the video. She was defending that entry to the Senate chambers from an Antifa terrorist who broke that window. She was unarmed. It says Michael Byrd should be charged with murder, one with a hate crime slapped on top of the charge. A hate crime for what? Are you trying to tell us that he killed her because she was white? Trust me, this could have been any other race and he would have still did it. Like, what in the world? He was just doing his job. See, this is why they make bad faith arguments. None of what this person is saying is making sense. None of them are making sense, honestly. He says the woman, the Capitol Police officer who beat Roseanne Boylan to death must face the same charges. The hate in her eyes as she killed Roseanne Boylan is on video. Go back and watch the video. And then he tagged Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Don Bongino. Like they're going to do anything. Man, listen, I'm telling you, these individuals are unhinged and this platform allows them to be unhinged. And speaking of George Floyd, look at what this person decided to do. Byrd is as guilty as Derek Chauvin, who was found guilty of killing George Floyd. In both cases, an unarmed person was killed by a policeman of a different race. Oh my God. First of all, Derek Chauvin is found guilty because he was definitely guilty for what he did. Michael Byrd, they're not charging with him anything because he was doing his job. He gave the warning to Ashli Babbit to not try to climb through that window, and she did. And again, they're trying to do the same thing that the other person said about making it a hate crime. It says, no, Michael Byrd did not kill. There's no proof that Michael Byrd killed Ashli Babbit because she was white. Like, that's a new one. Like, I've heard them say a whole bunch of things, but now them bringing her. Oh, I'm glad they said that. These are the same people that like to talk about black people not bringing up race and that we should stop making everything about race. And here this dude is right here, plus the other post that I just read for you, doing what? Making it about race. I tell you each and every time, these people are literal walking contradictions. This person right here said, I don't understand why he felt the need to just shoot one person who was trying to break in that day. She wasn't the only person at the window, so why just fire one shot? If I was in that situation and I was afraid for my life, I would have kept shooting. It just seems odd to me. Well, thank you for telling us, Cindy, how much of a trigger finger you have and letting us know you would have just rattled off a whole bunch of shots that day just because. This woman literally told on herself and basically said if you put a firearm in her hand, she would consistently pull that trigger until there was nothing left in the chamber. Like, how dumb can one be? Why would he just start firing off on a bunch of people just because? He went at the main target, which was Ashli Babbit. Why would he just start popping off just at everybody? Then at that point, you would probably make an argument that, okay, yeah, this guy definitely went off the rails. But, you know what? I'm not even going to try to make sense of this one. Let's continue. So we got these next couple of posts. The first one says, absolutely, Byrd should be arrested and go to jail if he is found guilty. Don't see how he could be found innocent. She posed no threat and was not armed. This other post said, absolutely, it makes no sense why he shot her. If he feared for his life, why didn't he shoot others? Now, why does this post right here sound exactly like the one I just recently read? I keep telling you, a lot of these individuals, some of these are, I swear, I think some of these are bot accounts because they start to sound the same. Like this one sounds like the one I read before, and the one where the guy was talking about making it a hate crime, it sounded like the post I read before it. It's crazy how they sound eerily similar to each other. He said, what threat did she pose to him and not others requiring that he take her life? The matter needs to be reviewed by a grand jury. See, they keep thinking because she only shot her and nobody else that she must have been targeted. If they don't sit down somewhere with that, you have this post right here says, absolutely, it makes no sense why he shot. Oh, never mind. That was a post. I don't know. That got caught up in the screenshot. Forgive me for that. So you have this next one right here that says he should be tried in a military court with a military judge and 12 military members and veterans as a jury. And this last one says, yes, he shot a peaceful protester. If you want to call that peaceful, they really think they were out there being peaceful. Okay. Who was also a military vet. She was not armed. And they keep throwing up that part about her being a military vet. Well, what military vet goes and does what she did? She should have kept her butt home in California. In case y'all didn't know, that's where she was from. She flew 3,000 miles away just from home after her husband told her not to go just to get popped. What was accomplished by her going there? Nothing. What was accomplished by any of them being there that day? Except they made themselves look like complete clowns on an international level because the whole world saw it. They still talk about it to this day. You want to talk about America being a laughing stock, you can start with that situation right there and just work your way down. So you have these next few posts. One says, well, if shooting an unarmed person who is posing no threat to you without warning is a crime, then he should be charged with it. Someone else, any other cop would be in prison for shooting an unarmed person and from behind a barricade's door nevertheless. Someone else said, yeah, he absolutely should have. It was a completely unnecessary use of excessive force. Another one said, without a doubt, I was a federal police officer with Treasury, U.S. Mint Police as a former cop, and having seen the video, I think he should be prosecuted. I think he got some form of compensation for doing that, and he got a promotion. Let's not forget the promotion. I think he was supposed to solidify the insurrection narrative again. And also notice what all these accounts really have in common is they all purchased that blue check. Man, listen, I can't wait for the day when them blue checks get snatched away from them. Man, they gonna be hurt. But yeah, just more babble that's coming from them, more of the same. And this is going to be the last post that I read. Someone says, without a doubt, I was a federal. Already read that part. Someone says, without question, Michael Byrd remains the sole individual responsible for the fatal shooting of an unarmed patriotic veteran on January 6th, a deeply unsettling act that not only ended a life dedicated to service, but also left a lasting scar on a nation already torn by conflict and division. Trust and believe me, I wake up each and every day feeling just fine. How about y'all in the chat? And the people that's writing this don't even believe this crap. This Dr. Piz person or whoever they are, they don't wake up every day saying to themselves, man, I miss Ashli Babbit. Oh, get out. Go sit down somewhere with that. And the last one says, prosecuted to the fullest extent. Shooting an unarmed civilian is outrageous. If you shot someone breaking into your house unarmed, you would be prosecuted. Same goes for BLM Act. There it is, BLM Act. What makes this man a BLM activist? Because he's black? See, and they try to call us emotional. See, I want y'all to understand something. This is why myself and KG and many others do these type of commentaries, because I want people to understand that when some black people try to tell black people that they're emotional, no. Send them here and let them watch commentaries like this so you can see who the real emotional individuals are. And these are the people that are quote unquote in power. I just want y'all to know that these are the people with good chunk of the resources in power, and they're acting like this over one incident that they feel that they've lost the plot on. Actually, they have lost the plot. Honestly, I don't think they've even had control of the narrative, and that's also what's pissing them off more than anything. But I wanted to show y'all one last thing. It's not a post, but I think that this will pretty much wrap up this video in its entirety. So this right here is a clip from a video that someone recorded when they was at the Capitol building back in on January 6, 2021. You see that person right there at the window, the one that I circled in red? That's Ashli Babbit. Now, they put so many narratives out there, and by they I'm talking about people like the idiots I showed y'all in the last few minutes about her being pushed through or her doing a whole bunch of other things. No, this woman is climbing through or trying to climb through the window, and they're telling her to stop. And she's still trying to climb through. Does this look like a peaceful protester? Does this look like someone who's complying with the law? No, it does not. So when I see something like this, someone who has a good set of working eyes, am I supposed to just sit here and lie to myself and say that this was like a person who was just there for a visit? That they were just there touring? That they were peacefully protesting? Everything was fine when they were outside, but the minute that they got past them barricades and got in the building, at that point, they became, in my eyes, fugitives. In my honest opinion, they became domestic terrorists. I mean, the stuff that they were doing when they got in there and running through the halls to try to look for people to do God knows what to whoever because they didn't like the outcome of the election. I'm talking about this was probably one of the biggest tantrums that was put on global display probably in American and maybe even recent world history. If people wanted to see how bad America looked that day, look no further than this incident right here. This left a stain on this establishment, this country, whatever you want to call it, for years to come. People are hundreds of years now, people are going to be looking back on that day and talking about what happened. And I doubt you, the majority of the people are going to sit up there and say half the stuff that the people said right in these comments that I was reading out to you, or whatever other narrative that they tried to paint, talking about that they were just going there to tour the Capitol. Last I checked, to tour something, you needed an appointment. And I doubt any one of them clowns that went there had an appointment that day to go visit the Capitol. They just went because their leader told them, in so many words, to go. But listen, he could have told them not to go and they still would have went. But then again, he did say that his base are uneducated and they still support him. Like, make that make sense.
But wait, there's more.
In case people don't know, this right here is a picture of the pocket knife that was recovered from Ashli Babbitt's body when they got to her. This is the pocket knife she was carrying. If you look right there, it says P16, because I think that's the brand of the knife that it is. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. And then underneath it has the date, which is January 6, 2021. And then they have a ruler out there to measure how long the knife is. I believe they said the knife had a 3-inch blade, if I'm not mistaken. But in total, it looks like it could be probably a 7-inch knife in total, as far as the handle and the blade itself, if you count the two together. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I saw a lot of posts that were claiming that Ashli Babbit was unarmed. Hence, some of the posts y'all already saw, but I saw a whole bunch more that were all peddling the same thing. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, if she has a knife like this on her, that means she's not unarmed. See, the thing is, they think, oh, being armed means or is associated just with a firearm. No, you smooth-brained buffoon. You could be armed with anything and seen as a weapon. Like, for instance, a butter knife. A butter knife shouldn't be anywhere outside of your kitchen unless you're purchasing it, but it should be in your kitchen. Why are you walking around with a butter knife? You know, like, and why is she walking around and carrying around this? Well, and for what reason? And they try to come up with a whole bunch of excuses, but at the end of the day, what it boils down to is that she was indeed armed, and this is what she was armed with. Imagine what she could have used that for if she got any further than what she did. So there's that.